best football teams that no longer exist. Back in the late 1980s and early 1990s, Yugoslavia had one of the most talented football national teams in the world. They were known for their technical skills, creative play, and the fact that their players came from all across the Balkans, places like Croatia, Serbia, Bosnia, and more. They were so good that people called them the Brazilians of Europe. But what happened next totally changed the course of football history. You see, in the early 1990s, Yugoslavia broke apart because of a brutal war, and it's important to be respectful here and say the impact of the war was much bigger than football. But since this is a football page, we're focusing on that today. Because of the war, the country split into several new nations, and suddenly all those amazing players who used to play together were now divided by borders and politics. And to make matters even worse, right before the breakup, Yugoslavia had qualified for Euro 1992 and were considered as one of the favorites to win the whole thing. But suddenly, they couldn't participate. As it turns out, the United Nations passed Resolution 757, which banned athletes representing the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia from participating in international sporting events. So UEFA had to announce that Yugoslavia would be excluded from Euro 1992, and strangely enough, their spot was given to Denmark, who ended up winning the entire tournament in one of the biggest surprises ever. But Yugoslavia's story doesn't end there, and what happened next is actually kind of unbelievable. What I mean is that even after Yugoslavia broke up, one of its smallest pieces, Croatia, managed to do something incredible. In 1998, just a few years after becoming an independent country, Croatia made it all the way to the World Cup semifinals and finished third. That was their first ever World Cup as a new nation. But believe it or not, Croatia wasn't done surprising the world. You see, 20 years later, in 2018, Croatia went even further and reached the World Cup final, facing off against France. They didn't win, but finishing second in the world was something nobody expected from a country with only about 4 million people. And then, in 2022, Croatia finished third again, showing that their football talent was no fluke. But here's the wildest part. If Yugoslavia had stayed together, they could have combined all the best players from Croatia, Serbia, Bosnia, and the other new countries. If the country never had broken up, many experts believe they would have won the World Cup and other international tournaments. But I'm posting another video just like this tomorrow. Follow so the algorithm shows you.